Tyler Hitt has left HGA. What do we make of this news? I have no idea. Let's talk about it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. Interesting story to hit today. Today's Monday, April 11th. And we got an interesting bit of information that just dropped about an hour ago. I've been doing a little bit of kind of digging around, not only based on what was announced, also based on what I know from my own conversations with Tyler in the past, and then based on a little bit of digging that I've been doing. So let's jump over real quick to the announcement. So this was posted on Hybrid Grading Approach on Facebook. HGA family, friends, and supporters, we are writing you to communicate a few changes within our organization. Tyler Hitt will be stepping away from HGA. HGA was his dream, and the company wouldn't be where it is today without his knowledge and love for the industry. Although we are sad to see Tyler go, he will still be part of HGA, part of our HGA family, and will be working diligently to make his vision a success. HGA is now in the capable hands of Armstrong International. Put a pin on that. We'll be right back with some more information on Armstrong International, because some of the comments that I've been reading are just ridiculous. Anyway, a fifth generation, founded in the 1900s, a fifth generation, they've basically been around for a long time. They have a strong passion for the card industry, which is what drew them to HGA in the first place. The HGA management team, who has been driving operations, will continue to do so with support from ownership. We added resources who bring over 17 years of experience running companies and developing operational excellence. Put a pin in that as well, because we're going to be talking about that in a second. HGA is committed to a mission of providing customers an innovative grading. We will continue to communicate updates, yada, 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 yada. Thank you for trusting HGA, yada, yada, yada. All right, let's jump off of this. Now, a couple of things there. Number one, Tyler is stepping down, not stepping away. I don't care what that thing says, because they did say Tyler will be stepping away. It seems like what he's going to be doing is stepping down, not completely removing himself, and is still probably going to try to be in the background somewhere, trying to make things happen. Now, I have talked to Tyler. As you guys know, we've been trying to link up schedules and get together to do an interview, to do a chat. This last one was my fault. I canceled on him. The other one before, he canceled, I canceled. We haven't been able to make the schedules work. However, in one of those, I did have a conversation with him about a couple of things, and he did mention to me that they had brought in an outside company to help with operational excellence. If you guys don't understand what operational excellence is and what it means, it's basically striving to be a perfect company. Nobody will ever get there, but you strive to be a perfect company through various processes like, Six Sigma and Lean and all this other stuff. If you guys understand that, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I would say it's worth a Google, but it's really just boring shit that doesn't really pertain to a whole lot of people unless you're in the industry. So they basically they brought them in to help them streamline a bunch of stuff, to help them, kind of clear out some waste, to help them, get their affairs in order to be able to become a great grading company. I already knew that. That is something that I already had talked to Tyler about. Obviously, I don't talk about that kind of stuff because, it was in the confines of a private conversation between him and I. But he also did mention to me that they had told him to step back a little bit and kind of let them manage things. And one of the things that he talked about is that, man, that's really tough to do. This is my baby. It's hard for me to really step back like that. But he was obliging the company that he's had hired. What it sounds like now, and this conversation between him and I happened months ago, what seems like now is that company is now bought HGA, or at least bought a big enough share in HGA to make an announcement like this. So I don't know. I've listened to some of the comments or read some of the comments where they're talking about some of these allegations about stolen Jordans and a bunch of other stuff. I really don't know. There's some things going on in Tyler's personal life that I'm sure take a hold here. Once again, those things were discussed in the confines of a private conversation between Tyler and I. I'm not going to talk about that kind of stuff. What I will say is two things. Number one, this company, Armstrong International, from what I understand, was hired to come in and help. They now own the company, which is great. That's fine. Tyler sold. I got to imagine he sold to some capacity. I'm speculating there, but I got to imagine he sold to some capacity, which is not which is a very smart thing to do. I mean, from what I understand, his pedigree is, and this is some of the things I was going to ask him in our interview, is that he is what people would consider to be a serial entrepreneur. Start up a company, build it up, get it to a point to where it becomes a company that can be sold to a much larger corporation and then move on to the next thing. There are people that literally do this as for a living, and I do not blame him if that's what he did. Okay. Number two, those of you that are saying, "Oh, this is the end of HGA." HGA is, Tyler, this was a big old pump and dump, and this was a big old cash grab, and blah 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 blah. Name me a business that isn't a cash grab. That's just some of the most ignorant things to be saying. The other reason why I think that this is not true, we'll jump back here real quick. I did some digging, and this company, Armstrong Teasdale, seems to be the company that has purchased them. Now, there's a bunch of Armstrong Internationals. This is the only Armstrong that I found that was a private equity firm in the United States that has a firm history going back to the 1900s, as was mentioned in their original announcement. This is a pretty massive private equity company. They have a ton of holdings. They seem to be pretty big in terms of, coming in, helping small businesses get to the next level, that type of thing. So it just really fell in line with what they were doing. So again, a big company like this, they have a ton of subsidiaries too. I mean, they're a big consulting firm. United States Law Firm Group, State Law Resources. This is a big multinational. Look at the locations. This is a actually probably, I think London was on the other one that I saw. Actually, they're probably there it is, London, England. So they're an international company, and they are not going to take over a company that they think is on the decline. I've said this several times before. Even for all of the issues that HGA is currently having, or whatever issues they're going to have in the future, they are still providing something that no other company is providing in the space. There's riches in niches, if you're familiar with that saying. They provide unique slabs, unique labels. I'll jump off of this. They provide unique slabs, unique labels, and there is a segment of the market, whether you like it or not, that would much rather have a nice looking slab with a nice looking matching label, maybe even a custom label. There is a market for that. And as long as HGA can service that market better than anybody else, there will always be demand for what they sell, for their product. I don't think HGA is ever going to go out of business, barring any, big catastrophic event. And I think a company like Armstrong coming in, buying them out, or buying a large portion, or at least a controlling stake in the company, really just continues to speak to this one thing that has been a constant over the last 18 months, 2 years, that the hobby is on a much bigger platform than it has ever been. There is more money coming into the hobby than there has ever been. And companies are looking to get in on it and potentially cash in or cash out, I guess, if you want to say, and get a piece of that pie, you know. And for everybody saying like, oh, this is the end of HGA, you just don't understand how business works. Private equity companies are not going to come in and buy failing companies unless they know they can turn them around, or don't come in and buy companies on the ground floor unless they know they're going to blow up, or at least continue to be profitable. It's not going to happen. So I don't think HGA is going anywhere. And I personally wouldn't like for them to go anywhere because they still provide something that's relatively unique in the hobby. This is interesting. Just the comments I think are the most hilarious thing, right? Is this is a pump and dump and he dumped at the right time and blah, 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 blah. Man, folks they just, they type things out because they can type things out sometimes, and you just kind of got to roll with it. But what do you guys think? I think this is, if Tyler did in fact cash out, good for him. He did something that a lot of people would never do, which is have a vision, come up with a plan and execute on it and build something from scratch. So my respects to him for doing something like that. He saw a demand and filled it and built a company off of it. And if he cashed out, good for him. I wish him the best. For the hobby, this is nothing but good news because it means that real money is actually looking at the hobby and going, man, how can we come in and provide some value and make a profitable business out of this? And as a collector, I've always liked HGA. I've always been a fan. I've always been rooting for him. And I just think that, this is nothing but good all the way around. And to think that this is in any way negative is kind of crappy. But that's my take. What do you guys think? I know this one's going to get lit in the comments, but I love that. So let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on it? Is this a cash grab? Did he get fired? I don't think any of that happened. I just don't think any of that happened. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you have some additional information that you can point me to that would give me some additional context and possibly change my mind? I don't know. I'm always open to changing my mind. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys watching all the time. Love y'all. Peace.